Mr. Ganesh Rajaram.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, firstly, let me declare my interest as I run the Asian business of a multinational media company, Fremantle Media International. Sir, over the last few years, MCI has been spearheading Singapore's digital transformation from AI, data analytics, cybersecurity, immersive media, and the Internet of Things within a short span of time. I would like to commend MCI for its foresight and its multi-pronged approach to digital disruption and transformation. So I would like to focus my speech today on the mainstream media. The mainstream media, to me, has perhaps the biggest and most important role to play in combating fake news in Singapore. They also have a crucial role to play in strengthening social cohesion. These can be achieved through two pathways: enhancing the quality of journalism and building a network of partnerships. I'm pleased that both Singapore Press Holdings and MediaCorp are heading in these directions. The editor-in-chief of the SPH English, Malay and Tamil Media Group, Warren Fernandez, said recently that good journalism and news organizations that are credible and reliable play a vital role in combating fake news. This emphasis on quality journalism and credibility will ultimately also have important consequences for the company's bottom line as print circulation and advertising revenues continue to decline at SPH. Sir, the New York Times faced a similar predicament just a couple of years ago, but managed to turn things around. Indeed, it has just announced that it made more than US $1 billion in overall subscription revenue in 2017. While other media companies are struggling, the New York Times saw its circulation surge, adding 157,000 digital subscriptions in just the fourth quarter of 2017 alone. One of the reasons for this turnaround was a focus on quality, in-depth journalism. CEO Mark Thompson said, and I quote, "We believe that more and more people are prepared to pay for high-quality, in-depth journalism that helps make sense of the world." An emphasis on balanced quality reporting and commentary will inevitably bring more subscribers and readers, be it for print or online. While reporting news quickly and accurately is important, Singaporeans would benefit from reading varied, considered commentaries that provide a deeper and sometimes alternative view of pressing national issues. Mature, cogent, and well-argued commentaries can deepen the level of debate and discussion among Singaporeans, and also broaden the consciousness of the impact of certain arguments. I would like to suggest, sir, that this is not a question about funding. It's about talent, and about nurturing and developing quality talent in the newsroom. To me, the country needs more of quality commentators, such as the Straits Times opinion editor, Chua Mui Hung, and MediaCorp journalist, Bharati Jagdish. Their commentaries are thoughtful, considered, and balanced. They raise questions like good journalists, but they do so constructively. Their arguments are backed by facts and not just emotions. Sir, the digital revolution has removed barriers to information. Singaporeans today are bombarded by tidal waves of fake news and agenda-led emotional reactions of online bloggers and pseudo-journalists. Many Singaporeans reading the personal ramblings of these so-called political social commentators are not fully aware of the backstory and agendas of these sites and their contributors. Online commentators who are more often than happy to make inflammatory and controversial remarks to grow their readership for advertising revenues. Commentators who insinuate without fear of any organizational sanction and who are not bound by any code of ethics or journalistic ethos. Sir, in the competition for eyeballs, newsrooms are getting younger. While the actual effectiveness of using young journalists to attract young readers warrants an in-depth study, I would like to suggest that newsrooms consider a structured and coordinated mentoring scheme to help develop and guide the younger journalists. When I was a rookie Malaysia Cup reporter in the early 1990s, the mentorship that I received from veteran football writer Jeffrey Lowe was invaluable. It played a key role in my development as a journalist and the stories I broke. That uncanny eye for detail, relationship building, and the art of learning how to ask the right questions. These are things that can't be learned in the newsroom. They are learned on the ground, on the job. There is a rich wealth of talent among veteran journalists in the newsrooms of SPH and MediaCorp, and we must encourage our newsrooms to tap on these senior journalists. Old school journalists can be terrifying to those who skate on the wrong side of law and ethics because they relied on investigative journalism and not internet journalism. They didn't have Google to help them look for information, nor did they report off stories posted on social media. Instead, they spoke to people face to face, on the telephone, and developed their own network of contacts. They also checked their facts and corroborated news breaks. A renewed focus on quality journalism, which was the strategy for the New York Times, will reinforce the credibility of our mainstream media and result in growing readership. In a sea of emotional and sometimes irrational online commentaries, we must ensure that people are also provided with mature, well-argued opinions. We are beginning to see this renewed commitment to quality journalism by SPH and MediaCorp. Programming on Channel News Asia consistently stands out because of a focus on quality. Last year, we saw the documentary Regardless of Religion, the follow-up to the previous year's hit, Regardless of Race. Yet again, the producers treated a very difficult subject with sensitivity and made it entertaining and interesting. It helped that they had a natural talent to front the show. SMS Janil Putticherry's ease in front of the camera was pivotal in the success of the program. It is programs like these that go a long way in setting the platform and developing social cohesion. Programs such as Insight also deserve mention for their investigative journalism. But while MediaCorp is putting the emphasis on quality and seeing positive results, it also needs to foster more partnerships to thrive. Mr. Speaker, sir, partnerships are becoming the norm in the media industry among companies big and small. We have already seen some major mergers in the broadcast and film arena. The Disney and Fox merger is among the biggest. And the recent changes at the board and management level at MediaCorp have begun to show positive effects, with the company embarking on partnerships and looking to cement more. One recent partnership was the Channel 5 drama Missing, a first-ever co-production with Thailand. MediaCorp will also have to look at partnering pay television platforms across the region and locally to elevate the quality and increase the footprint of its content. Perhaps the government can look at incentive programs for MediaCorp to achieve this. And lastly, Mr. Speaker, sir, my favorite topic, the broadcast rights for the Tokyo Olympics in 2020. I thank Minister Yaakob Ibrahim for his comprehensive replies to my parliamentary questions a few weeks ago on this issue. I agree with the Minister that sports rights are getting more expensive, particularly for marquee events like the Olympics. And I also agree that as important as these events are for the viewing public, we cannot be held ransom to any ridiculous fee being asked for by rights holders. But as someone who has been on both sides of the fence, a rights holder and a buyer, I would like to suggest that the 2020 Olympics should be seen with a special lens. Firstly, the Tokyo Olympics will be telecast on prime time in Singapore. Secondly, we have the prospect of watching our Olympic gold medalist Joseph Schooling win more medals. Other athletes such as Kwa Cheng Wen will also be in their prime. Thirdly, while Singaporeans were grateful for the last-minute deal to telecast the Rio Olympics 2 years ago, the hurried rescheduling of programming is not ideal. It must have been difficult for MediaCorp to garner sponsorship and advertising given the last-minute deal. If the deal had been brokered earlier, it would have given them more time to approach global sponsors of the Games who are, as I speak, already planning their media spend for the Tokyo Olympics. Perhaps this could be the opportunity for MediaCorp to embark on a long-term partnership with pay platforms, StarHub and Singtel, to go after these rights together. In today's world, content is platform agnostic. Nobody cares where they watch content. If it is quality content, they will find a way to watch it. Mr. Speaker, sir, given the hundreds of millions of dollars spent on public service broadcasts, PSB content every year, surely a small portion of that spent on the Olympic rights is justified, as these could have a far more lasting and tangible public service effect than any PSB program. In fact, the halo effect of Schooling's win is still being felt 2 years after his feat. Some things, as they say, are priceless. Thank you.